Hello everyone, I am joined here by International Master Md Imran. Imran, first of all, huge congratulations. You are one of the people who might become India's 100th Grandmaster, I think, because you have just scored two GM norms in a row in Budapest. First of all, I think it happened in quite a short span of time. Has it sort of sunk in yet?
Yeah, definitely. It happened out of nowhere. Just didn't see it coming from any world because this is something which I was aiming from the last 1.5 years. And yeah, I mean, just very surprised. Okay, I'm not in a mood to celebrate as well. Still have a lot of things to work on and things to sort out. And still the condition has been any not any better, and just trying to get out of the situation. And to be honest, to score the open now, I think it would take me at least month or two to get my visas back again and go home and figure out my stuff. So I don't think I have any chance to become 100 grandmaster or even a grandmaster for a while. But yeah, first of all, I don't have tournaments. That's the main thing. But let's just see. I mean, I really want someone to help me at this point. So far haven't got any help. Yeah, let's just see what happens.
Yeah, for the uninitiated or for those who don't know, we recently published an article on MD Imran's journey to score these two GM norms. There was lot of trouble, lot of hardships we had to face. I think people will get a clearer picture if they see the article. We will post a link of the article on the description, and maybe we can also show it side by side on the screen when we put out this video. But essentially, what I gather from the story is like the shining quality which comes across to me is your determination. Because there were people who would have perhaps thought that, okay, things are not moving anyway, yeah. My passport is not there with me. I don't have any clear accommodation to stay in Budapest. But you were quite motivated, and you, like, the way you thought was also quite different. You thought that if you do not play the tournament, then it might impact other people who are wanting to score the
Yeah,
GM norms. Is that
that
correct?
was the main objective behind playing. I mean, I always had an option to go back home taking an emergency passport, which I think I will get it in like 1 hour or so, and I can just fly back home the next day or two or something like that. It is just that okay. I just wanted to make the tournament happen, and after the tournament maybe I can leave. That is what I was thinking about. And mostly I was kind of bothered about the other players, I think. And the thing is, I think they can still make a norm without me, but I think they have to score like 7 out of 8. I'm not sure, but that's what the organizer said to me and the arbiter
Okay.
said to me. I think that should be true. So, I mean, 7 out of 9 itself is a very big thing, and it is very, very hard to achieve. So, I can't imagine players scoring 7 out of 8. And
Mm.
it is just not the end of it. I think even after that, the main problem is they have to score a 10 round norm to
Yeah.
compensate that one game which they haven't played.
Yes.
And scoring a 10 round norm is just, I mean, even to find a tournament having 10 rounds itself is a very big thing.
Yes.
So of course, I mean, also simultaneously, I was kind of hoping that maybe I can find my stuff, I can somehow solve my issue or something like that. But okay, definitely I could do this, but I think it is not ideal for me to play a tournament while I was doing all of this, especially a GM tournament where I have to everyone is above 2400 and
Mhm.
very strong players. And I mean, the thing is, everyone is I think close to 15, 16 years, or a guy who is, I played a guy who is 2013 born, they're
Okay.
2400. And I mean, everyone were I think at least 7 or 6 players were almost similar of my age or even
Mhm.
younger than me.
Mhm.
I mean, it would have been kind of still would have been a little fine if I was playing some 30, 40 year olds. Maybe I can make a draw with them
Yeah.
and I can offer a draw. But these guys weren't giving me draws at all. I asked him after 5, 10 moves, I asked at fourth move, I asked even before the game, just because I want to go to the room and rest and kind of trying to figure out my issues. But yeah, I mean, no one was giving me a draw, which was very, very surprising because so far I think I've made a lot of draws because I play a lot. And I think in the last 2 years, I think from 2024 till this point, I think I've played over 600 games, I think.
Mhm.
So
Wow.
considering that, I made a lot of draws because I can't play those many games at all with full strength, because
Mm.
at sometimes I have to rest for a while. And
Yeah.
especially when I'm playing two games in a tournament, I think under specific day, basically I generally want to make a draw with, especially when I'm black, with a player who is of similar rated or else 2400 or this sort of rated players. And everyone kind of accepted my draw offers, and this came as a very big surprise that everyone was motivated to play. And probably I think the main reason behind playing was just that because of my situation, everyone knew what I was going through. So definitely, I think they just wanted to take an advantage of it. I think that was the reason behind why they were wanted to play the like. Yeah,
Well,
but I think eventually.
yeah, well,
Mm.
in a way, you also have to thank them, right, Imran? Because the games went on, you were able to score the wins, and there you were able to make your GM norm, correct?
Yeah, yeah, kind of. Yeah, I think definitely I have to thank to them. But yeah, I mean, so far it's been like I don't think this norm would compensate to any extent, considering what I had to face between the tournament throughout. Yeah, to be honest, I didn't even prepare. Didn't even prepare for any game more than 10 minutes. I think there was only one game where it was very important for me to win, and that is a game where I prepared for like 10 minutes. And except that, I think I was just going throughout, like playing all random openings, whatever I know and whatever I was thinking that maybe was confident enough that at least I won't lose out of the opening or whatsoever. So considering these aspects, yeah, I think the norm wouldn't compensate to like to any extent, considering the struggle I had faced throughout the tournament.
Yeah, it was a difficult situation for you for sure, but
Yeah.
you persevered, you made this to GM norms, and we will come back to the
Probably
current.
you can count as
Yeah,
that. Okay, maybe I got a little reason to feel a bit pleased, but I
yeah.
think I think this. I mean, considering the amount which I've lost, I think I can play over like 50 round robin tournaments. So considering that, okay, it is definitely awful, but okay, making norms aren't easy at all, and especially in these conditions, I think it was more than impossible to make a norm where I could make a norm, and yeah, it is definitely came off as a very big surprise to me. But still I don't have time to celebrate or process. Still, I have to work on in a lot of things. So yeah, I mean, definitely, I can say that I'm a bit pleased about the norms, but okay, I'm not at all happy or not any great feelings about this achievement.
Yeah, this situation I think overpowers the current norms. We will come back to the situation in a bit where I think you can share how, if anyone can help you, or what is the current situation. But before that, I wanted
Sure,
to take a look at some of the games you played. And we picked out
sure, sure.
three games. I think three very critical games, if I may say so.
So I'll tell you how I categorize these three of the games. I
Mhm.
think I've had much more interesting games, but I think those were in the start of the tournament, so it didn't
Mhm.
matter much. So the reason specifically why I picked these three of the games were okay. If I look into the first tournament, I think I was at 5.5 out of 7,
Okay.
and I had to win this one game with white, and due to which I can reach 6.5, and I can probably offer a draw to my opponent tomorrow, and I would reach 7. So this was in the first tournament, so that's the reason why I picked this game. In the other two games, this was even more complex,
Mhm.
because I in the second tournament where I made my norm, I was
Mhm.
already having not so good of a start where I scored like 3.5 out of 5. So obviously I was at extreme borderline. I can't
Mhm.
even lose more than half point to
Yeah.
score a norm. And of course, I was not even thinking about scoring a norm. Basically, after I scored 3.5 out of 5, I had to score 3.5 out of the next four of the games which I
Mhm.
have to play. So considering that, I somehow managed to land at somehow managed to land at 5/7, and I had to win those two games, which I described as the other two. So I think those, considering the norm aspects, I think all these three games are very, very important for me
Yeah.
to exist at this point, scoring two norms.
Yes. And I think we'll now move to the first game, which is from the first GM tournament. Okay, so
Yeah.
here we are. This is the tournament, the first GM tournament. This is the first Saturday tournament organized by Laszlo Nagy in Budapest. And here we have, this is what round, Imran? This game?
This was around, I think, this was round eight actually, and I was 5.5 out of 7, and I
Okay.
had to win this game
Mhm.
so that I can reach 6.5 and make a draw in the next game.
All right. Okay. So we can take this game from the top. I wanted to focus not so much on the opening, but maybe like go a little bit beyond. So
Yeah.
uh, here we go. And
Before you start off the game,
sure.
there arrived a very funny situation.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, I didn't played my fourth round game because
Mm-hmm.
I was at the embassy and I was going, and I postponed it to the morning. And the
Okay.
thing is, there were I think this was only single game day, and
Mm-hmm.
I think the game was at 3.
Okay.
Generally, for me, it was a double round game because
Mm-hmm.
the reason because I missed the fourth round game, I had to compensate playing the game that game today morning, like this day's morning, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
at 10 a.m.
Oh
So
wow.
the game ended around at 1:30, and today and sorry, that day it was Friday, and I had to go to mosque for the
Mm-hmm.
afternoon prayer on a mandatory basis.
Okay.
And the thing is, And the distance between the hall and the mosque was around like 30 minutes. So I
Okay.
took, and I thought the game is at 4
Mm-hmm.
because I played a morning game and I
Mm-hmm.
completely forgot the game is at 3.
Mm-hmm.
And I came at around like 2:30 and I finished my prayer around like 3:10.
Mm-hmm.
And Orbiter and Laszlo called me that don't you want to play the game? And I was
Okay.
very much surprised that then I realized that okay, I completely messed up. The game was at 3, and
Mm-hmm.
again it took me like 30 minutes to go back home. And
Mm-hmm.
a great tribute to my opponent that he was kind enough to wait for me
Oh
and
wow.
only like I had to play at 1 hour 15 minutes, so
Mm-hmm.
I only like lost 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think even if I couldn't reach in time, I think I will be get forfeited and I couldn't even be able to play that game.
Yeah.
And a very very big shout out to my opponent that he had to wait. He was kind enough to wait for me to come there. And yeah, this is what I wanted to mention about my opponent and
Oh
what
wow.
happened actually.
Oh wow. So I mean that's such a kind gesture by your opponent actually, where they sort of helped you in a way, and also they upheld the sportsman spirit, I should say. Correct.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
yeah, we get into the game now. I think. Okay, so as you mentioned, not much preparation. Yeah.
So since this game was
Hmm.
very important, I
Hmm.
don't want it to land up in any kind of theory. So just pick knight f3 as any random move. Let's just see where it takes me. I just wanted to play a game, not into indulging into too much theory. But luckily, I managed into somewhere a place where I know some stuff here.
Hmm.
And
And so this
bishop d3
is.
was something which I've prepared a week ago to
Mhm.
with someone. And I think my opponent was not quite aware of what I have played from white. After e5, the general way is to play like d5, knight c5. And like now, after I go knight d2 with being white. And now I'm threatening b4, so black will play a5 and I go g4. And this is still there is a lot of theory involved. Like you play rook g1, bishop e2, and you castle long sometimes. So that is the general way. But I think it is much. It takes to a very complex game, and I was definitely having no energy left because I wanted to prepare this game while I was traveling
Mhm.
because I thought the game at 4. And I think I was while I was traveling in bus, I thought I would be able to prepare, but I couldn't prepare anything because I had to rush immediately. So I thought that let's not go into too much attacking mode. Let's play something which is kind of I would be having decent kind of edge and
Mhm.
still very good chances to win, which is bishop d3,
Yeah.
which I chose.
And now he
And
picked ED, knight D, knight C5. And would you say this was a small opening surprise, or like was he also playing at a decent speed?
uh, so sorry, can you repeat it again?
Yeah, so I was saying that did you think that this was a small opening surprise, or was he like did you think he was well aware and moving fast here?
To be honest, it wasn't much of a opening surprise because it's something which I knew, and I
Mhm.
think till rook e8 and queen c2, I knew what to do.
Yeah.
If you just go a few moves back, I think after knight c5 and I
Mhm.
castled.
Yeah. Knight C5 castles is there.
And rook e8 and queen c2 until I knew this point, and I knew
Hmm.
moves like a5 and c6, but I don't know like bishop d7 to be honest.
Which is also maybe not the best move here. Maybe A5 or
Yeah, yeah,
B6 are
for
the
sure.
best.
I think my opponent took over like 30 minutes to figure out these two
Mhm.
moves, knight c5 and rook e8. So I think I was, and I think I was already having like 1 hour 17 minutes,
Okay.
considering that okay, came
Like,
15 minutes late. So
yeah, yeah.
definitely I was splitting out the moves.
Mhm. And yeah, he actually took a long time to figure out the position here. F3,
Yeah,
knight D3, queen D3. And already it seems like your position has quite good harmony, and even the
yeah,
engines
yeah. And I
give a
was
big edge.
Yeah, yeah, and even another thing is,
Hmm.
while I was thinking that the game is at 4, I thought I'll grab some food, and at this point, I just completely rushed to the hall. So
Hmm.
I was extremely like having kind of very insanely burning sensation, and
Hmm.
basically my stomach was full of like abusing me that you hadn't feed me anything. And yeah, I mean I was feeling like okay, I just wanted to finish this game as soon as possible and have
Hmm.
some food.
Hmm.
And I was not even feeling anything about my position whatsoever. I just wanted to finish this game.
Hmm.
And I think by this time my opponent was already down to like 40 or 30 minutes
Hmm.
at
So
this point,
already they had
which
spent
benefited me
a
immensely.
lot of time already in this
Yeah, yeah,
position.
he definitely spent a lot of time, more than what he actually has to spend,
Mhm. And
which I was very
A6,
happy about.
rook f1, rook a d8, bishop g5. And this position is given, okay, quite an advantage. The engines gave already +1. What do you
Yes, yes.
like? What do you think is a concrete way for white to continue? Like,
I think
why do you think
there
the
was
edge
still
is so much?
I think there definitely exists a lot of moves instead of bishop g5, but I think since my opponent was just getting so low on time, I just wanted to play on his time and kill
Mhm.
him on time.
Mhm.
That was my major, agenda. And also, it also, I mean, I have no mood to play any long game. And I think this tournament was one of the most difficult tournaments as well, considering where I'm seated at this stature. Because the thing is, the most annoying part is there is extra time after move 40, and
Yes.
this is the only tournament
Mhm.
in Hungary, only round robin tournament in Hungary, like for Saturday,
Mhm.
where you have extra time after move 40, and I had to play even more longer game. So definitely I don't want to play any kind of improvement moves like b3, a4, and all these kind of
Mhm.
things. I just wanted to finish the game as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I chose to play bishop g5 there, and knight d5 is coming up next move. So now he has to do something, and he will be definitely going low on time.
Yeah.
So considering, I just went purely upon instinct, not much of a calculation or whatsoever.
Yeah, I think like you wanted to have like you
Yeah,
chose the
and
most
Queen
direct
e5
way,
was
we can say. Queen
yeah,
e5 is
actually
already
Queen
a
e5 was a
mistake.
blunder.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a blunder, I think, not even a mistake.
Yeah, correct. Uh, and the point is, I think you found this one quite quickly. F4, and
Yeah,
I think the queen
yeah,
is sort of queen and knight. It's all just sort
yeah,
of
yeah.
messed up, right? The coordination is not right.
Now after Queen c5, he missed a very concrete move, which I would like the viewers to figure out, because it's not much of a difficult move whatsoever. Probably, I think they would be able to find it with ease.
Yeah, I think that's a good exercise actually. The next
Yeah, yeah,
move, as we mentioned, I think the hint is that the coordination of the black pieces are not very good. So there's an
yeah,
opportunity to break it even more. And
yeah.
okay, you can pause the video here. And this move, Imran found here, b4. I think it's quite nice. What's the idea if like just queen b4? The
But
queen is
I think I
getting
can just
trapped.
take on f6 and play knight d5, and he just had to resign at this point. I think
Yeah.
because I think even bishop into d4 doesn't help because I can just take with the queen,
Hmm.
and knight f6 is coming up next move, and
Yeah.
just lost.
So the
Fine.
threats remain, and yeah, it's just lost.
Yeah.
You can't really do that. You cannot take. And after before, he probably realized this that he's lost.
Now after queen a7, I overlooked a very easy chance. I think e5 was just winning here,
Correct. You are right.
completely winning.
e5 is the move which
But
in judged
I've
was winning.
calculated that he can take on e5 with the pawn, and I
Mhm.
would take back with my pawn. And I thought bishop f5 here.
Bishop f5.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Bishop
and
f5.
after queen e3, I think I was afraid of something like knight g4 and rook into e5. I think
Mhm.
takes and rook into e5. And I felt eventually he'll take on e1 if I move the queen, and he'll take the d4 piece. But I think I can just sacrifice everything by taking knight into f5.
Yeah.
Like instead
Also,
of moving my queen,
yeah.
I can
Maybe
play
you
knight
can.
into f5, and I'm
Yeah.
just
Oh
winning.
wow. Yeah. And
Okay, to be honest, I just
like
yeah,
the
I mean,
attack is completely winning, right?
to be honest, I was playing bullet after b4. I just wanted to finish the game, and he
Mhm.
was very very low on time. I think down 5 minutes. I think
Ah, okay.
so. Definitely, I don't wanted him to take any breath. So
Mhm.
I just wanted to like play very fast, as fast as I can possibly play.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, you did
uh,
play b4
I
actually,
chose a wrong move
and
actually.
after queen a7, but instead of e5, you went bishop f6, bishop
Yeah,
f6, and knight d5. This
this
this is
this
this is
move
also
completely.
good, right?
It is yeah. It's the second best move,
Mhm.
but this severely deteriorated my advantage.
Mhm.
I think I was plus 2.5. If I would have played e5, now I think I'm plus 1.1 or something.
Yeah, something like that. And he
And I
gets in
completely
bishop
missed bishop
h4.
h4. I was
Mhm.
very very annoyed with myself that I missed it because the only move which I've calculated is he can go back to g7
Mhm. Here
with the
here
bishop.
you thought that only bishop g7 is there.
And I thought I can just take the c7 pawn and just come back with my
Mhm.
knight like nothing even happened.
Mhm. But he has actually this move bishop h4, which you did not
Yeah,
consider.
which I just completely missed, and I just saw it after playing knight d5.
And to g3, he
Uh,
has this c6 also.
yeah, and now I have to take on h4 with no other move to play. Like I
Yeah.
have to take that.
And okay,
And
this
now
position
this is
should also be good, but of course, that was probably an easier
yeah,
move.
yeah, definitely it is
Mhm.
not very pleasing to play. And now I think black has got a very good source to play, like got a very instructive counter play
Mhm.
series where he can just get his rooks down the line, and he has severe counter play. And
Yeah,
also my
this
king
c
is a bit weak
files.
because of the exactly. And also my king is very, very weak because of the double pawns on the edge file.
Mhm.
And still, I was still not convinced. I was still not cooling down. I was still playing fast.
Yeah.
Uh,
Because he
H5, I
wanted to
just
keep
played.
up the pressure basically on the clock as well, right?
Yeah. I
Mhm.
just want. I think he was having like 2 minutes by
Mhm.
this point.
Okay.
I think
And still
what
now
moon
what
number
this
is
is,
this?
this is 24th move. So already he has
So he has
still
to
many
still make
moves left.
16 more moves
Yeah.
to get the extra time.
So you were like that, let's just finish it here, then and there. Like try to keep up the
Yeah.
pressure. And you played
Yeah.
this move h5, sort of trying to rip open the king side.
Just completely like
Mhm.
H5. Okay, it should be good.
Mhm.
That was on my mind.
Yeah.
Nothing much of a calculation whatsoever.
Yeah. And he went queen b6. I think the plan here for black is to try to generate some counterplay on the queen side, correct?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And you went at g6, at g6, a3, saving the b4 pawn. Bishop a4
Yeah.
already, I think, is again going
I
a bit
think he
astray.
had he could have definitely inserted a much better resistance by playing King G7 and Rook H8.
Yeah, king g7, rook h8 is one plan. The
But
engines
for
also
King
say
G7, I think
a5, actually.
yeah, for
The,
sure.
yeah.
A5 even goes in a counterplay, but I thought I
Mhm.
can go F5 for some
Mhm.
reason
Wait.
after A5.
And
And okay,
there,
I'm not sure it's working or not, but I
yeah,
think just completely based on the instinct. But okay, there is a very interesting idea after King G7 instead of A5.
okay, just king g7.
And I briefly considered I would just go Queen E3, just landing up a discovery on E6 or F5 with the
Mm-hmm.
knight.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he can just go Queen D8 and somehow come to H4 next, and somehow he's still in the game.
Yeah, I think,
It's not
yeah,
much easy
yeah,
to
the
get.
evaluation is also correct. It's not much, and I think black is sort of getting back
Yeah. I
on their
was
feet.
very much worried about King G7, but I thought, okay, I think I was having like, it's very ironic that I think I'm still having like 55 minutes in the clock,
Oh, wow.
despite being 15 minutes late,
Uh-huh.
and he's having like 2 minutes. So I thought that okay, if he plays King G7, we'll calm
Well,
down a bit since it's one of the most critical
mhm,
areas of the game. So we'll
mhm,
calm down a bit and we'll think for a while, and before we blunder in
mhm.
the next move. So I
Yeah,
thought that okay, we'll wait for sure. But okay, he didn't choose that move.
yeah, and he actually went this move bishop a4, which I think
Yeah.
is sort of a slow move, right? Because you go rook d2 and you can also now bring your rook to g2, perhaps.
Actually, it appears to be a very quick move because I think if I couldn't, I think there is only one sort of move which I have to play. If I
Mhm.
couldn't figure it out, I think it would be an equal position.
Yeah.
And I completely missed out the idea behind Bishop A4. I think after Rook D2, I thought I was fine,
Mhm.
but Bishop C2 came as a surprise to me.
Yeah,
And
bishop
now
c2
it
is the
is
idea, I
very,
think.
very, yeah, it is very, very cut to cut, and I have to find a lot of interesting possibilities. Otherwise, I think I'm just lost because
Mhm.
the point is now I'm only forced to play queen to f3 at this point
Yeah.
because if I go at any other square, I think e4 pawn falls.
Yeah,
Let's say
that's
queen
true, actually.
g3.
I mean, you have to keep supporting this pawn, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
suppose
Now
you
there
go
is
to queen
suddenly
g3.
yeah, and he can take on e4, and I think even I could potentially lose this game,
Yeah, and like,
considering
yeah,
that. Okay,
yeah, 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 it can go very bad very fast. That's correct.
yeah, for sure.
So, queen
So
f3 is the critical move. How much time did you take for this move, queen f3?
okay, I mean it was a forced move, so I didn't want it to think any longer. I just played queen f3,
Mhm.
and
And,
yeah, after rook c4.
mhm.
It became much worse because now if I go queen f2, I'm just losing the pawn on e4.
Yeah, again, you cannot do this. You have,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
he can just take with the bishop, I think. And yeah, it's,
yeah, for sure. He can take, and he's back in the game. And now here is a critical moment where I
mhm,
thought for a very long time and came up with the best move.
mhm.
And the thing is, bishop a4. After bishop a4 and bishop c2, I thought I completely messed it up.
Mhm.
But I think it is the third or fourth engine choice, and black is lost here surprisingly.
Yeah.
And I played the very right move. I think here even viewers can pause the move and try to figure out what the move which I
Yeah.
found here.
This one is actually quite difficult, I think. This is very hard to
Yeah, this
figure
is a
out.
bit like you should calculate accurately, and it is still not clear what will be happening later on.
Mhm. Correct.
If my opponent would have gone to the variation where the engine suggested, but okay, luckily he couldn't go. He collapsed in a few moves.
Yeah. Here the move Imran found is e5. It's a very nice tactical shot. I think the main idea is okay. Maybe the first move which you considered was rook d4. And what did you
Yeah,
have
and I can
planned here?
simply play queen f2 now and just get the. And I think still there is still a lot of work to do if he would have gone rook into d2 and queen into b6.
Mhm. So this is like this position you have to play, and this you
And
thought
rook into
is
d5 here. first of all.
Mm-hmm.
And it is not easy, yeah, because still there are very good chances for black to resist in this position. And also, of course, my king side is extremely weak.
Yes.
Literally, it is like the king is completely uncovered and literally it is naked. I
Mm-hmm.
have no pawns to cover.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of hoping that he would go into here, and I was still trying to kill him before move 40 at this point. But
Mm-hmm.
okay, luckily he couldn't find this, or probably he was. Yeah, of course, it's understandable. He's having like no time to figure out.
He's having no time, and also probably he thought that his position is already lost. So he maybe tried to figure out something else.
Yeah, I mean, I think if I just came out of nowhere for him, he
Mm-hmm.
couldn't even figure out that a move like that even exists.
Mm-hmm.
So it took him a time, and I think he was at 30, 40 seconds. So I think, I mean, he has to make a move, and of course, you can't calculate everything at this point.
Correct. And he went bishop f5, which is okay. I think once you play bishop f5, he had already perhaps seen these possibilities
Yeah,
and considered that
and
it's quite difficult
I was
already.
very happy at this point to figure out this move.
Yeah, and I think there are many possibilities now. But you played the best move here, which is again queen e3. And the idea
To
is,
take on f5, whatever he does.
yeah, and this idea exists, and he went bishop h3, which is sort of a desperate attempt, I
And
think.
he blundered here.
Mhm.
Even viewers can find out there's a little kind of interesting theme attached to it, and definitely there is a very fair point for him to take there, because after queen to h3, you want to take on d4 with the rook. But I think he missed a little very cute idea.
Yeah. And the idea here is, again, as Imran says, I think e6 is the move you're looking for, right?
E6 is one of the moves which is winning, but I think queen into h3 just wins.
Yeah, queen h3, yeah, correct, sorry. Queen h3 is the move
he
which
just-
you played, and yeah.
And I come back on e3 after takes.
Yeah, rook d4, and just coming back, which was the
There is
main
one
point.
more subtlety here. If you would have taken d into e5 here,
Okay.
I have to take rook into d4, and that is how I win. Because if I take f into e5, there is rook g4 check.
Yeah, oh, wow. And then things turn
this is
around
what I had to
completely.
figure out before I took on h3 with the queen.
Because if you go something like queen g1, now he can just move the queen, and he is fine.
Yeah, I mean, he's back in the game.
Yeah. But this move d5, you have this nice move rook d4, like rook d4. And there are just so many pins. This queen is unprotected, this rook is hanging.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just simply a rook up, basically just for a pawn. So I think, yeah, this is just lost.
Yeah, and after the move queen e3, I think he just resigned, right? There's no other moves to play because this.
I mean, yeah, I think he lost on time. I don't remember.
Okay.
Probably he couldn't find a move to play.
Oh wow. What a beautiful game, Imran. I think this was so cool.
And after this game, I was just, my opponent was calling me for the analysis. But, I was just sitting at the board crying for like 5 minutes because, like I mean, this was the most important game for me where, I mean, I went completely unprepared, no preparation because of the thing which I've missed, that the game is at 4, game is at 3, not 4. And also with empty stomach and full of fever and headache, I had to play this game. And my mind was just exploding, like just kind of someone had inserted a screwdriver inside my head or something like that. And yeah, I was full of emotions after winning this game.
Congratulations on this great win, and I think, like, did this win seal the norm, or on the final round as well you had to make a draw or something?
I mean, still there was some sort of uncertainty because tomorrow I have to make a draw. And this is very interesting story that I think that guys, I mean, he's one of the guys who destroyed my IM title way back in 2024, where I was playing black pieces, and I think I was around 2381, and he was around 2487 by that time in 2024 November, I think, if I can recall correctly. So I needed a draw to him, and I offered a draw, but he denied. And I think that was my last norm. If I made a draw there, and I would have finished as an IM. But I played that game, and he didn't agree for a draw, and I had to play that, and eventually lost the game. I felt miserable. So I thought that, okay, it wouldn't be new for him to destroy another norm of mine. So I was still kind of being in some sort of an uncertainty. But luckily I managed to like he was fine with a draw, because I was high rated this time. He was 24-29 and I was 24-71. I don't know about the ratings much, but I think he was kind of very pleased to make a draw for some reason, and I was even more happier because the thing is finished now. At least I have one norm at my back at this point.
Yeah.
So I was kind of pleased after making this one.
And now we actually move on to the second tournament, which is again that is also a first Saturday tournament, as if I understand correctly.
Not really.
Mhm.
So this tournament took place from 6th to 13th of June.
Mhm.
And after that, this tournament, the other tournament, I think I played it. Yeah, I played it in another city in Hungary. It is called Balaton Lele.
Okay.
And it is like 3 hours from Budapest. But I
Mhm.
think I had a 7-day gap and this started around the 20th.
Okay.
So I was kind of, kind of figuring out my things, and also at least I had some time so that I can take care of myself. Eventually, I couldn't take care of myself. That's a different story. But I had some time to rest and cope up with the surprise of making a norm. So yeah, and I think at this point, I think it's a different game
Yeah.
where I was 5 out of 7. The other game with
Yeah.
Navarro.
Okay. So maybe we start with this one, right? The game against
Yeah.
Valery Neveros.
So at this point, I was 5 out of 7, and I
Mhm.
had to win 2 games. And the thing was that I was not expecting anything,
Mhm.
because I believe in very weird sort of philosophies that, okay, if you want to achieve something, if the God has written that like he will give you something, it will come near you like anyways, no matter in how terrible you are, how terrible circumstances you're going through, whatever. But if it is written that you won't get it anyways, like no matter what. So I believe in this sort of things, and I was just hoping to play a game. I was not expecting anything. So, and also I was not at all confident coming up to this game, because I'll
Yeah.
tell you one thing.
Mhm.
In the period of 2024 to 2026, I lost to Navarro 4 times,
Oh wow.
I think, if I remember correctly.
Oh man.
And I
So he's
mean,
a bit
he's
of a
a very
difficult
strong man.
opponent, we can say.
Yeah, and definitely a very strong player. I think he is 1964 born, but still, I think he's still nowhere lesser compared to a 15-year-old, 16-year-old guy. So definitely he's a very strong player. And I was not at all confident coming up to this game. So I just wanted to play a game and just wanted to play as best as I can. And also, I think
This is
it
what
is.
round,
I
Imran?
was very
Like this
sorry.
is like this what round? Which number of round is what I'm trying to
This is
ask.
round 8.
This is round 8. Okay, this is again the penultimate round. Again a very important
Yeah,
game actually.
penultimate round.
Yeah,
And
and
actually, I had to thank one guy who
mhm,
supported me throughout, and he just came out of nowhere. And I think after I made a norm, I sent all the required details to Aditya
mhm,
Sur Roy, Aditya
yes.
sir,
Mhm,
and he posted a Facebook post mentioning what happened with me.
mhm,
And this guy who is from Israel,
mhm,
his name is Levin Guy, and he has 3 norms, and he
mhm,
just needs the rating to become a grandmaster.
mhm,
He came to me, he texted me that, "Oh, hey, I don't know how I can help you, but I can do work as a second for you
mhm,
till you become a GM or whatsoever."
mhm,
And I think I was very, very happy to get this opportunity to work with him. And I mean, of course, like, first of all, I don't have a coach, and I did everything alone. I am alone. I had a little coaching, but okay, it was almost close to non-existent, and I was alone throughout. And even across 2400, 2500 last year alone. And even I made my first norm. The first norm I did it completely alone.
mhm.
And I think there is definitely a share of Levin to support me throughout this tournament. And I was talking to him throughout the entire tournament. Even I think he was playing a tournament, but still he was kind of focusing more onto me and giving me suggestions, opening ideas, and everything. And I'm very happy to mention him. And yeah, I think definitely he's definitely. I think without him, maybe I'm not. I would really doubt that I would able to achieve, in this tournament.
Wow, such a kind gesture again by
And also, it is
Levin.
very ironic that like I'm a Muslim, and he is from Israel, so you can understand what I mean. And I didn't expect someone from Israel to help me out. And yeah, I mean, and I think it is just chess is a sport where you don't have any kind of global sort of differences between the wars and everything. So I
Yeah,
think it was something which came out of nowhere and which was very surprising. But yeah, I'm very happy to mention him more than I
yeah.
think one of the two people who really had a very big share of my success scoring norms.
Who's the other person? You mentioned two people.
Yeah, another person is definitely, I think, the guy who I would owe my entire life to. He's the his name is or his nickname is Orko. He's from Bangladesh, and he's studying computer science from the last 4 years in
Mhm,
Budapest. He's finishing his he's at the final year right now, and I know him from the last 2 years because 2024 is the year where I entered Budapest for the very first time in my life, and I think some mutual Bangladesh players like like Manon Rezanir and Mohammad Fahad Rahman, these guys introduced me to this guy, and I think Olympiad was also taking place by that time. So
Yes.
these guys were playing Olympiad, and this guy met those two guys, and eventually when and me and Manon and all of these guys were playing the same tournament in 2024 where I was struggling for my final norm. So by that time they introduced me to this guy, and from since then, even last year I think I stayed in Budapest for over like 5-6 months. I don't really know the period, and I was meeting him all the time, and he's the first person who I called and texted after I figured out that I'm literally like naked right now with only having a phone and a packet of biscuits and coffee in the bus station. And he was and I think I can't even go anywhere even if I want to, because first of all I have to mention that I was having an accommodation reservation, but I can't go because I don't have a passport, and I have to show a passport at the check-in.
Yeah.
I don't have a passport right now. And I think I requested him that can you please help me, and he was kind enough. And till since then until now, I think I'm still at his place, and I'm very grateful to mention him. I think even to exist today, I think without him, that's nowhere possible. Yeah. So I'm just very happy and very grateful, and just like I can't put it in words that how much he has done for me. So very happy to have a friend like him.
Yeah, there's two very important people, of course, who helped you in this journey. Like completely, actually, one person maybe for chess and one person for everything else. So that was very nice. And okay, let's jump back to this game against Navarov. And for this game, how was your preparation? Did you get some time to prepare, or not really?
Yeah, I did get some time, but I think I was having a severe headache, and still, I mean, basically, to be honest, I think all the 18 games I was at least playing with minor to major headache. Probably major would be the appropriate word, comparing the majority also like not in the best state, and also
Did you
the
get
situation was very hard for me to even accept any food. I was trying to eat some food, but I think it is not just going inside my stomach. I was just not able to help myself. I was trying everything, nothing was kind of sorting out, and I just felt that okay, let's just play a tournament. I think there is nothing more I can do. Let's just play a tournament instead of just sitting at Budapest without doing nothing, so I just went that way. And to be honest, I just wanted to game again here.
Yeah, and you did get a game, I think. This is somewhat of a fresh position, or this is all theory?
Okay, I think the theory goes after a5 instead of knight d7.
Okay, wait. Let me just go back a few moves.
Back when I played b4.
So b4 is sort of the non-theoretical move here.
Yeah, and the theory goes a5. Like after b4, no, after b4, black
b4,
goes a5.
black goes a5, correct. You're right.
And I go b5 here, and c6, and queen a4, and cb5, queen b5, bishop a6. And there are lots of moves, queen b1, queen b2, queen b3, but I still don't know. I know this opening from the last 2 years. I still don't know why queen b2 is the best move here. Like completely doesn't make any sense because it just blocks the bishop on c1.
Yeah.
But black takes on e2 if he wants to. But yeah, I think it's not the best move, but I go rook e1. And if bishop goes back to a6, I think knight f1 is the move. And somehow white is better here. Still don't know how, why, no clue why. I think the main point of queen b2 is I can play rook b1 and make put pressure on the b6 pawn.
Yeah.
That is the key point, I think, from what I can understand. But I still don't know about this subtlety.
Yeah, but he, I think, picked a completely different thing. He played knight b d7, and this is a new move.
To be very honest with you, I think after when I played knight d2 after bishop b4 check in the opening, he started to take a lot of time. And I was very pleased about it. And I know that bishop d2 is a very common move, and definitely he might be aware of that. And this and it eventually goes into this close Catalan.
So but bishop d2 you want? So bishop d2 did not want to play.
The line goes like you go back to e7 with the bishop, and bishop g2, and castles, and c6. And I think this is one of the difficult positions in the chessboard to win from white, because it's very symmetrical, and definitely I won't be getting any like too objectively, like realistically, I won't be getting any huge chances to win. So knight d2 does create a difference, as you can see on the board that
Yeah,
like
already.
after
Yeah, I think the nature of the position is quite different, right? Because the position which
yeah,
you ended up in is
now the
like,
pawns got traded and
yeah.
the dynamics and the entire statistics of the position has been completely changed because of that little difference knight d2.
And here he played knight b d7, and this is a move which you maybe were not aware of. Like, was this a new move to you, or?
Of course, to be honest, like I just know what I was playing, and I definitely know that after a5 what I was supposed to do, and that's the reason why I chose it. Otherwise, I would have chosen a much safer approach by playing bishop d2. But knight d7 just came out of surprise. But I think it is containing like no harm. I can just go bishop b2, play a normal move, so it wouldn't matter much.
And yeah,
And
we.
I think here I was feeling a bit pleased because if we place a move like bishop d6. And I have knight f3, rather knight to f3. I go rook c1, next move.
Yeah.
And
b5, maybe rook
like,
c1, something like
the
that.
point is, I just put my knight on c6 and just completely stop his counterplay. I think that is the major objective of playing that. And if he plays c5, he will eventually land up in an isolated queen pawn position.
And
So
that's
that
what
is
he did actually. Hit the game.
yeah, exactly.
Like did he here think for a long time and play c5, or was it like did he play it fast?
Yeah, definitely. He took a lot of time here. He was not sure that he wants to go into the IQP or not. To be honest, okay, this second tournament was completely live, so I think we have time marks to check. But I think we can just go this way. I remember that what was going at what time and everything.
Yeah. I don't think that at the time marks. Otherwise, it would have been easier for me to also see.
Okay, probably I just given you the PGN.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
didn't,
All right.
but it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. I think we can continue. So he played this move c5 here, and did you take some time here to calculate the position? How were you feeling after this trade of knights, DC, BC?
Yeah.
And
So
this.
there is one subtlety which I have to mention to you here. We just go back a couple of moves.
Okay.
After c5, I had two options: to take on d7 with the knight, or else to take on c5 with the pawn.
Yeah.
And
With which
the difference
pawn?
between take with the d pawn, d into c5. And the difference between dc5 and knight d7 is very, very subtle and very, very cute, I'll tell you. So the thing is, if I take dc5, now I think he can fight back by playing knight into e5 and bishop into e5, and he can take on c5. And not with the bishop.
Sorry, of course.
Take on f6.
Yeah.
And after a move like bc5, bishop c5, I think like b into c5, taking the pawn back. And bishop into c5, he has like excellent counterplay. So bishop a6 coming up next move, and his rook got opened up and my pieces are stuck.
Yeah.
So this is the reason why I shouldn't take on c5 first. I have to take the knight first on d7.
So this you calculated, and then you landed on knight d7. You have to do everything, but first take knight d7.
And here I was choosing between knight c4 and knight b3. But eventually I found knight b3 way better because I can even play rook c1 and keep pressure on that c5 pawn. Also, I think I can keep an eye on the c5 pawn as well eventually.
Yes. And
that's the reason I chose.
And he played rook b8.
There is also a very interesting line here, which I think I'm very sure my opponent would have missed here. Like I thought he can just take on b4.
After knight b3, you mean?
Yeah, like just take the pawn, like takes with the bishop. And maybe he might have thought that I would take on d5 with the bishop. And bishop into d5, queen into d5. And this is very slightly better position for white and nothing much to achieve. But here he missed a very critical move, which I would like again the viewers to figure out.
Oh, this is a cute tactic, I think, which he missed. Like from afar, it's easy to miss also, I think.
Yeah.
But perhaps he would have seen it after a before. He would not have played bishop
no,
before. It's possible.
I'm just checking all of these things while playing knight b3.
Yeah.
So after bishop into b4, viewers can find out what he had missed.
Yeah. And the cute move here is just bishop g7.
And yeah, exactly.
The idea is quite cute.
Queen d4 next move and take the bishop there.
It's a double attack. And I think white is now completely winning this position.
Yeah, and he's not even time to take the pawn on e2 because his b7 bishop is hanging.
Yeah, there's no time. He has to move the bishop first. He can go some bishop
Yeah,
c8.
and also his king is just completely, like ruined.
Yeah, the king is weak. He's down a pawn. So yeah, this should be
Like
quite good.
completely lost.
Yeah, completely lost for sure. So after knight b3, he did not play c4. He went rook b8.
Yeah.
And here you went.
Here I think I missed a very big chance. I didn't evaluate the position very well, I suppose. I played the right move, which is knight a5 here.
Yeah.
And the point is, if he just goes back to a8 with the bishop, I can simply take on d5, and I'm just a pawn up.
Yeah.
And he's not even time to take that b4 pawn because knight c6 comes after cb4.
Yeah, so there's no time because knight c6 and he's losing completely.
And he took a very long time before he played rook b8.
Yeah.
And the point was just knight b6 here after knight a5. And he's defending everything somehow in time. But here I missed a very critical idea and I eventually played a wrong move. And the wrong move actually benefited me a lot because Navarro is someone who takes who is always been who I've always seen being in seconds every other game.
Okay.
So he takes a lot of time. And because of this wrong move, I think that is the only reason why I won the game. I think if I would have played the right move, I don't think I would be winning this. I think viewers can figure out the right move. I've definitely considered it, but I evaluated it wrongly.
So I think there are two moves which the engine shows quite good here. One is knight b7.
Yeah.
Which you...
That is the right
move. I think we will consider
is
it.
That after knight b7, rook b7, I have to play bc5, bishop c5. And I was not able to justify this position. It is around 0.8, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, at least even 0.5 is good enough for players like us in order to slightly push and at least get a game. So I think just so that it shouldn't be lost anywhere, that is the least expectation. So the thing is, I have to just play e3 here and just play bishop d4 next move. And I would be pressing the d5 until the death. So that is the logic behind this.
So this will be like a slow positional game. You will round your pieces to attack the d5 pawn.
Yes. Yeah. But I was not able to justify the point why I have to give a lot of activity for black. The knight was non-existent play at a very disgusting square and d7. And I've made it to c4 now. Next move you can play knight c4 and also his bishop's opened up. Even his rook is eyeing on the b2 diagonal. And I was not justifying the reason why I have to go here. So this is a difference between the engines and human beings. Engine can think 30 moves in 1 second, but of course we have to imagine where the pieces are going, lots of other variations. And yeah, definitely it's humanly, I think I made a very right choice playing e4 there instead of knight into b7.
And you picked this move e4, which is I think quite combative in nature also. And again, I think it like a draw from your previous game, it sort of forces the issue in a way, right?
Yeah, to be honest, I've calculated everything here, and the thing is, I think the best move. Okay, there are very critical lines. I'll explain you one after another. Let's just see what happens after d4 here after e4. If he goes d4, I calculated that I have lots of options. First of all, I can take on c5 with the pawn, and bishop takes c5, and I have two options. One is to play knight b3, which eventually gives me a pawn, or else
is one option.
I think I can take, and eventually I have also option to take on b7 here, and I can take, and I think I can play e5 here.
E5, yeah.
And sorry, not e5 because I think he's having rook c7. Probably I move like rook c1, I think.
Yeah, rook c1 first, and then maybe at some point you push.
Slowly I can just and open up my bishop there and do something there. And that is a justification for the d4 move which I've considered for him. And there is another option. He can take on e4 as well. Where I think I have multiple options. One option is to go queen g4. Suddenly trying to checkmate him.
Yeah.
And if I want to play in a much safer way where I ensure a little edge wouldn't go into too much complexities, instead of queen g4, I can play knight into b7. Rook into b7 and take on e4.
Yeah, and you're up a pawn and...
there is also another one, another move, which is very, very interesting. Instead of this queen g4 and knight b7, I'm also having bishop e5 here after d into e4.
After d into e4.
And now he's overloaded. He can't protect the rook on b8, also the bishop on b7 now. But I think he can make an exchange sacrifice on b4 and he can take on b4. eventually and somehow still try to be on the game.
Okay.
But I think probably I would have gone queen g4 or knight into b7 if this would have happened.
You did not consider bishop e5 so much as queen g4, let's say.
I just thought, okay, briefly, I have bishop e5 at the worst case. I have queen g4, I have knight b7. Not too much calculating what is going to happen because it's too much to expect what he will play because.
Yeah, because in this position, black has many choices, right? They can play a lot of things.
I think bishop a8 was something which just ruins all my advantage, and I think it is equal after bishop a8. I've definitely considered this option, but I thought I can just go queen g4, and if he plays a move like bishop f8 now, I can just take on d5. And now I'm coming up with knight c6, so he has to take the pawn back with knight or bishop.
Yeah,
so in either of the cases, I thought I have rook d1. And somehow I thought that this position should be good for me, like briefly calculated, because his queen can't move and there is a huge pressure on d5. But I think knight f6 is a move which I missed here.
Knight f6, yeah, just coming back. But knight f6 here is not so good.
Knight f6 might not be the best move. Okay, I think we can take on b4, yeah?
Yeah, he can just take on b4, basically.
Yeah, and my a5 knight becomes a target at the end after the series of trades there. So yeah, I just misevaluated the position. But after playing e4, he has given 23 minutes for the next move, and he was almost at 12 minutes, I think, at this point after playing.
And this tournament doesn't have any additional time after move like after move 40, correct?
Yeah, and this is one of the major advantages. And also, it is very funny that in the first game, I was playing a 2500 IM, who is also seeking for a norm. He's not a GM, seeking for a norm. The thing is, I was in a lost position there, and he got flagged. And when I asked him that why the hell he just left his time running, he said that when I checked the rules and I figured out that there was extra time after move 40, but there was none, which he was not aware of. And it is also a big congratulations to him because, after losing the very first game with me, he scored 7 out of in the next 8 of the games, which is so insane. And, he made the norm in the same way where I made. He won 5 games in a row. He was 5 out of 6. And he made a draw in the 7th game, and he was 500 out of the 7. And now he won the must-win game against the opponent who I won in the last game after this game. So he finished as 6.5 out of 8, and he managed to make a last game draw, and he got a norm. It is very super inspiring seeing his relentless attitude to score 7 in the next 8 games. It's very difficult.
Yeah, it's truly inspiring that he was able to come back after this very difficult first round, as you mentioned. But the game went on. I think after calculating quite a bit, he picked this move CB4.
And here he was almost down to 12 minutes, and I was having 1 hour 15 minutes or something. I was just playing very fast. So
you took AB4, knight C4.
Yeah. And
now
here I was having 2 more options here, to be honest. One is to play. I can't remember what I've thought. Yeah, one is to take on b7 and rook b7 and play a move like bishop d4 and still somehow try to do something. But I think it is very much liquidified at this point. I think black can somehow take on e4 and play rook d7 or something, and I'm not sure. I think almost it is going to be end in a draw. After if I take on e4 with the bishop.
Okay.
And I chose another move to play bishop d4 instead of knight into b7.
So you
now the point is, if he takes on a5 now, I can take with the b pawn, knight into a5, b into a5. And if he takes d4, I can take on a7. And I think this position is objectively winning for some reason for white, because I'm having a pawn post pawn.
Yeah.
And
the remote passer.
Trade the queens and get the rooks, and somehow a move like rook a8 and bishop b6 I would play, and I think just something like bishop f1 comes up and a6, and somehow it is winning.
And this a pawn helps a lot, definitely, to secure the winning advantage, we can say.
And that's the reason why I chose bishop d4.
So and bishop d4.
Before calculating this bishop d4, I have to calculate a 7 move series here, which is forced, which my opponent did play in the game, which is which starts with bishop into b4, and I take on b7. Rook b7 and ed5, and now knight d2, and now I have to sacrifice an exchange, because after rook e1, if I play rook e1 here, he can just take on e1, and I think I'm lost after knight f3 check.
Yeah,
like queen e1 and
because you lose the
I'm
queen
just
and
losing my queen.
yeah.
So I have to figure out what I have to do before playing, bishop d4.
Mhm. So you had to
So
see this move basically, that here you have to go.
yeah, I had to sacrifice an exchange playing queen g4 here.
Yeah, queen g4
And
and
here he was down to 1 minute actually,
Mhm.
which hugely benefited me. And he played f5, and I took on queen. And there is even a little certainty that he has to play rook f7 first of all here,
okay. Rook f7
which
is
he played in the
critical.
game.
He cannot
Yeah, because
directly take this, right?
yeah, so that now I have d6. That's the difference.
Okay.
And the very funny line goes like, if you play a move like rook d7,
Mm-hmm.
I think I can go bishop c6 if I'm not mistaken. Rook into d6. I think I have rook into a7. I think here.
Yeah.
And if it takes on d4, I have queen f7 and queen g7 is a mate. This is what I've calculated.
Uh-huh.
And so he has to play rook f7 so that he can't run into d6 and opening up my bishop.
Yeah. So he did play rook f7 first, and now you
Yeah.
went back queen d3.
Yeah, and here he was extremely long time, like 40 seconds, I think.
And
he took on f1.
Here he took on f1, which is, I think, still the best move actually in this position. He did play knight f1.
Because there is no other move. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
that's the reason why you gave the pawn on f5 to
Correct.
get that exchange.
Yes.
And now I was very happy about this position, because if you just go back one move, like instead of rook e1, I think he has to play a move like queen d6 to defend.
Okay.
And now I have much more to play than what I need, because first of all, the bishops are like working as like pure snipers, like covering up his king side. And I mean, I can play h4, h5. I can slowly play this position. I don't need to hurry up or whatsoever.
Yeah.
And it takes ages for his a pawn to roll down till a1. And my d5 pawn is super, super strong, first of all. And I can just go some bishop e4 and target on h7 and have still a lot more to play. And I'm having like 50 minutes where my opponent is having like seconds. So definitely I think this is worth to consider, this position.
Yeah, for sure. And I think here he also, like, maybe rook e1 was not the best.
Yeah, because he just wanted to trade as many pieces as possible, because he's having very long time. And after, I think rook e1 is just, he couldn't hold up anymore and played rook e1. And I think it is just almost +2 for me at this point. I think I played right now.
I think this is still okay actually for white. I think the mistake came. Yeah, but maybe practically this already felt like white is much better.
I thought g6 after g6 is something which he has to play. And I missed a very h6 is a blunder, by the way. G6 is the best move. I thought after g6 I can take on g6. Yeah, what's wrong? And the critical point is he can take on f2 now with a check with the bishop.
Oh, wow.
Now he can take the bishop back. Like bishop f2, now he can take g6 and it's no longer winning, which I completely missed. Yeah, like the bishop even exists. Like I was completely missed the existence of bishop on e1 there.
And this is just a draw. I think you can just make a draw.
Yeah, it's just a draw. Nothing more to be played.
But
so I think I have to slow down. Like maybe I can go king g2, or after, if you would have gone g6, I think I would have gone king g2 or threatening h4, h5 and playing slowly basically.
Yeah.
And also I have this very cute diagonal of a1 to h8. I can just go back to a1 and queen d4. You don't know when what can happen in this position. So
correct. Yeah, this long diagonal is quite powerful, and also I think probably till this point he was already thinking that his position is not very good and like it's close to lost.
And after h6, I missed a very easy move to win, which I think again viewers can figure out. I mean, I think I would have definitely found it, but I think I was just playing for his time, and he was having like 30 seconds I think this point. So I just played one move which I felt was right. But yeah, I think there is just one move which is a bit difficult, but something to be found, of course.
Are you considering the move? Because there are two moves I think which here are good, but maybe bishop f5 is the move you are considering?
Yeah, bishop f5. The point is, this is a clear move, and bishop e6 coming up next is just completely lost.
Yeah.
The point is, if he takes on d5 with the queen, I can check on h7, and I can take on g7 with another check and take the queen on d5.
Wow, this is a cute point actually.
Definitely, I could have figured out, but okay, I was just playing for his time.
Yeah. And he was already quite low on time, so you did not, after h6, you did not play this move, bishop f5.
I gave a check on h7.
Yeah, and this is still good, I think, here.
Yeah, bishop g6. And after this, I was the point is, wherever his rook goes, I thought I can go queen e3 and targeting h6 and e1 simultaneously. I think he has a move to go on f8. That is the best move which I missed.
Yeah, rook
Now I can't
f8.
do queen e3 because he's having bishop into f2 check.
I see. Yeah, and this
So
queen
I have
e3
to find
plan of course
another move.
doesn't work.
But I
Yeah,
think still I can play for win in this position.
yeah, for sure. I think there are many ways to maybe play for advantage. Okay, not this for sure. Maybe like
Yeah,
bishop
of
c5 is
course.
one move in
Yeah,
Gensta
of
chess.
course. And he played rook f6, which I missed again. And I played queen e4 here. And the point is, if he just goes move like bishop a5, yeah.
Here bishop a5, you
Uh,
mean?
let's just say he just goes bishop back to a5,
Uh,
even bishop to a5.
Here, right?
I think I
Okay.
can just take on f6. Sorry, take on f6 with the queen. Sorry, with the bishop.
Mm-hmm.
And he has to take gf6 because queen f6 ran down, so checkmate on e8.
Yeah.
And now I think d6 is just winning.
Yeah. Because you sort of distract the queen and like low risking
There is
into a
queen
mating
e8
mate.
and series of moves, and
Mm-hmm.
it will be eventually end up in a checkmate. So after queen e4, he wanted to play rook d6 actually,
Mm-hmm.
but before he could even play, he ran out of time.
Ah, okay. So you lost on
It
time
was
in this
1 second
position.
when he was trying to play rook d6, but he not flagged.
I see. But already I
And
think this
after this,
position is close to lost. Yeah. This is not good.
yeah, but okay, still objectively it is winning for white. Come on, I mean, black is having seconds, and I
Yeah.
think black is the only one who has to find only moves. Even
Correct.
if I mess it up, I can get the advantage somehow
Yes.
again.
Yes.
Because
Because
Ghosh is
only
very
white
good.
can play for
And
a win with this bishop pair and like a lot of attack on the
yeah,
king.
and now if we talk about the emotions after this
Mm.
game, first of all, I was very pleased to win against someone who I lost 4 times.
Yes.
And on top of that, now I was having a little kind of pressure that, okay, to be honest, I was never in a must-win scenario. And here I landed up 6 out of 8 and I had to win the last game. And I was having a must-win, and I was black as well. And I was playing someone who is not at all an easy player to win against. And the thing was, I was very much surprised, very much, tense that I'm having a must-win. And okay, eventually I got to a conclusion where I felt that, okay, if I couldn't make a norm here, if I end up making a draw or losing the game, I think probably today or tomorrow it will help if I want to make eventually if I land up in another 6 out of 8 situation. I think eventually it would help me. So I just wanted to play a game. And here I was so devastated that the game was at 9:30,
Okay.
and me and Levin were talking, and we were not able to come up with an idea where there is something where we can actually play a game without going to a forced draw or something like that.
Okay.
At least I wanted to play a game, and I was not able to figure out. And and I was trying to figure out, and I think there came a time where it was already 4 a.m. and the game was at 9:30.
Oh my word.
And the only reason why I was awake at the time, I think at 2:30 I was having a prayer to attend, like I have to pray. So I just wanted to finish that prayer before going to sleep. But after that, I was not able to figure out an idea. And to be honest, I just played some very freestyle. Until the very last moment, I was not sure what I was supposed to play. And I just played something which I felt was worth playable and definitely won't be getting into a quick draw whatsoever.
Yeah, so as you were mentioning, Imran, this is the final round game, and let's dive into it actually. So he picked d4. Was did you predict it correctly? Did you think that he would
Yeah,
go
to be
d4?
honest, this was something which I have expected because he was playing this all the games in the tournament and also in the previous games and previous
Okay.
tournaments.
Okay, so this was not
And
a
I think I
surprise.
couldn't find anything better than playing King's Indian for the very first time in my life.
Oh, for the first time. Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, to be honest, I don't know much of a theory, and this was something which I knew a little bit, but I was mainly expecting, 3-pawn King's Indian by playing like knight c3 after g6.
Okay. So after g6, you thought that he would go like
Knight c3,
knight c3 here, and maybe
bishop g7 and e4 and d6.
yeah, you thought he would go
And,
into this line.
Yeah, and this is much more comfortable to white from considering what he has played. So
Yeah.
I think I was very kind of a bit pleased seeing what he played, because then I think the advantage is almost like 0.2 or 0.3, nothing too much or something.
I think g3 was a system played back in the day a lot, if I'm not mistaken. They called
Yeah,
it some.
for sure.
Yeah, because
To be
with
honest,
white.
the thing was, there is one more addition to it. I could have played c5 after g3 instead of bishop g7. The main problem is that if he plays d5, now I have good chances by playing b5.
Yeah, because now this is sort of a Benko type thing, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. But the problem is he can just take dc5, yeah? And now, no, after c5, he can just
Yeah.
play dc5. He doesn't
Correct.
need to advance
Wait,
it pawn.
wait. Sorry. Spoilers here. We will cut this part out.
So,
Yeah,
so
I
the
think
point is after
after G3,
c5, c5 and
C5, he can just take
dc5.
DC5. Correct. Yes.
And the line goes queen a5 here, and knight c3, queen c5, bishop g2, and the thing is, it eventually builds up into a Marozzi bind where it is like almost impossible for black to win practically.
So it's like a
I
very
think I have some
solid
dynamic.
position for white, like a two-result position.
Yeah, next slowly he'll just get his pieces along him. It would be a Marozzi bind.
I see. Okay. So after
So
G3,
I had to play bishop g7.
Bishop G7 you played. He played Bishop G2, castles, Knight C3, D6, and like how was your preparation in this position?
There are a lot of options here. So I'll tell you. So there are one move is knight d7.
In this
and
position.
The line goes after castles. E4. Sorry, E5.
E5.
White goes E4. And white goes E4.
Wait, sorry.
Not D5. White goes E4.
Yeah, sorry. White goes
And
E4.
I take on D4 with the pawn. And knight D4 and rook E8, and slowly the ideal way is just you can just put arrows like C6, A5, knight C5. C6 and C6, queen B6 and something like that.
Correct.
But I think it is already 0.6 or something. So it is not really a good choice to go for. And there is another choice to go knight C6 instead of bishop C6 here. Where after castles, I have two more choices. One is to play A6 here.
A6, yeah.
It's eventually, after if I play A6, it eventually goes like D5. Knight A5, knight D2, C5,
Wow.
and the queen C2. And there are a lot of options, like I can go B5 and E6. There are two moves. But I think this wasn't ideal for me to play. I'm just getting very bad position. Of course, considering what I have to win, that I think this was not appropriate to go for.
Okay. So you thought this did not offer you best chances, basically, for a win.
Yeah, for sure. And my opponent would be definitely knowing this. And also, I couldn't go bishop F5 here. But after going bishop F5, I think that's just of no use, yeah, because knight H4.
And you sort of have to, you have to go back,
Knight goes back again to F3, yeah.
Yeah, and this.
That's a difference.
Yeah, maybe to make a draw, this is good, but not for a win for sure.
And I played C6 eventually.
Yes, he played C6 here.
And there is one more addition to it. I think the best chances for white would have given him by playing E4 here. Where I have to go bishop G4. And he plays bishop E3. And I have to go something like knight of D7. And slowly, try to do something. Slowly getting a game. A6, B5 and something like that. And this is already 0.6 and 0.7 to white.
Yeah, so, but in King's Indian, I think that's quite common, right? Because the engines sort of think that white has a good space advantage, and they give like a little bit of inflated evaluations, perhaps.
Exactly. And E4 was something which I was more worried of, because I'll be playing in a much worse situation. But luckily castled, where I was very much pleased, because I have bishop F5. Now I have all chances to win.
Yes.
Because there is no quick draw here.
Yeah, and because you have to play.
Yeah, exactly. And I know some stuff. There are like some moves. A move is rook E1 here, where I have to go something like knight E4, and still there is a long game to play after rook E1, knight E4. And another option is to play knight G5 instead of rook E1.
This was maybe some of the stuff you prepared, right? Like at the night.
I mean, I briefly knew that. To be honest, if I be very honest with you, this was something which I looked 2 years ago. So I had no clue. But I did know starting moves. Yeah, after knight G5, E5, I have to play, and D5, and I have to play something like H6, I think, if I remember correctly. And there is also one very interesting line. Instead of D5 here, he can go E4. No,
Sorry,
instead
yeah,
of
yeah,
d5, he can
yeah, he can go e4 as you mentioned.
and I'll go bishop g4 and f3, and I go h6 here and hg5, ed4, I think, queen d4, knight h7. Okay, probably I think I messed up the move order. I think I have to start with ed4 first.
Yeah, maybe here
So
after
okay, even
yeah, here after e4, bishop g4, f3. I think you have to start with
take,
ed4. Yeah, correct.
yeah, and queen d4, and now I have to play h6, and after takes on g4, I have to play knight h7,
Oh, wow.
and this is how generally it goes on. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was
And
so I know
there's
a little.
like the line goes on. There's some insane line where okay, what is queen
Yeah, queen
g7?
g7 was actually something which I knew. Rook f7,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to play king g8.
Mm-hmm.
No, king g8 was done,
Yeah.
and he'll play knight e6, I think.
Yeah,
No,
96
no.
I think is just sort of losing. I think he has to play this rook g7.
Rook g7, yeah, probably. And
King
I think
g7,
this was
96.
in my preparation. Okay, I only remember only this critical line,
Mm-hmm.
and takes and take on d8 and rook d8.
This should be
And
sort
I
of
think
like black is fine here, I think.
yeah, black is definitely fine. And okay,
Yeah.
I still have some chances to win.
Yeah. Wow.
So this is what I was hoping for. But okay, he played knight h4 ultimately,
Mm-hmm. And
and bishop e6. And
bishop d5.
I was in preparation. I was in my known territory till bishop d7 after d5.
And then he played this move knight f3 back, which is perhaps like not the
And
most
I think the
common.
ideal move is to play e4 here after bishop d7. Where I have another interesting line. I have to go a5 and bishop e3, a4, knight into a4. I think c into d5. And if I remember correctly, I think there was something like knight b6 or something.
Yeah,
I'm
knight
not sure.
b6 is the move.
I think I have to go something like knight g4. I don't remember, to be honest.
Wow, and this
Yeah, and
is
he takes on e8
very
and
complicated
knight e3
position.
and fe3, and I take on c4, I think. Something like that.
And the idea is that the knight is sort of trapped and the bishops will have their say perhaps in this position.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so this was what I knew from what I can remember, like 2 years ago. In 2024, I have prepared against someone this opening. But okay, he played knight f3 back after bishop e7.
And here already it's sort of a like relatively fresh position also because you are not like no longer bound by theory anymore. And like both
and
of you
now I
can
took
play.
a lot of time
To figure out the
e5 was
position.
objectively not a best move. But I felt that it should be right. I think definitely it is playable.
Yeah.
And
queen e7.
I played some very normal moves.
Yeah.
And here DCC came as a surprise to me, to be honest, because I didn't expect him to play this. Because now the dynamics of the positions completely gets changed here. Because after DC6, BC6, bishop a3, now I'm forced to play knight c5 and have to play with 3 double pawns if he takes on c5.
Yeah, he can actually do that. Yeah.
But I was not sure of this position, but I thought still okay, something to play for.
Like you can continue playing here, but he went knight a4 actually.
And I completely missed this move that even it exists in this position. And after a very big thought, I played knight e4. And I think after knight e4, my opponent took 25 minutes, which helped me a lot at the end. Because down to 15 minutes by last time. I think.
Yeah, so basically even his time you could think, and he ended up playing actually bishop e4 here.
Which is not a right move.
And did you realize it at that moment that bishop e4, knight e4, f3?
To be honest, I was not sure what the hell he was even calculating for like 25 minutes because I thought he would take on c5 with the knight instead of bishop into e4. And somehow, like after knight of e4,
here you thought he would take c5 and knight c5.
No, not with the bishop. I think he has to keep the bishops. Bishops are very important.
So knight takes.
I thought he'd take on c5, knight c5, and I was not sure what the hell he was going to play. But I think knight b6 was something which I thought after knight of e4. You can take my d7 bishop.
Here in this position, you mean?
No, 2 moves ago.
Yeah.
Here, so knight b6 is an option.
Yeah, here you thought knight b6 perhaps.
And something like rook b8 I would play.
Yeah, rook b8 perhaps.
And he would take, and I would take on d7 with the queen. This is what I thought.
And you thought this position is also Like you
This is
can
even
keep
much.
playing.
Yeah, because I have f5 and I can do something next.
Yeah. But
So
this bishop e4 move came to as a surprise.
yeah. To be honest, I didn't even saw the existence of it.
Mhm. And
So
you came back knight c5, knight c5, and he got this. He got these double pawns, but with the
yeah.
I think this bishop is now sort of not at the best place, right? It seems a little odd.
But I think if I couldn't play accurately, I think I can even lose this position because I'll tell you the idea of white.
Mhm.
Okay, if you just completely forgot that black can play any moves, I think the idea is just that he can play queen d2 now.
Mhm.
You can just put the arrows here,
Yeah,
and he can
I
play
think he did
e4.
play queen dt here
Yeah,
actually.
and the idea is he can
Mhm.
play. Idea is e4, rook
Mhm.
d1, rook fd1. I mean, I'm saying him for white,
Yeah.
not for black.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Sorry. Yeah.
E4,
e4,
rook fd1,
rook fd1.
and he can play knight e1 and knight d3 next.
So that's sort of the
Following with
plan.
queen e3, and completely like
This
next one
pawn
gets
is,
c5.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what eventually happened
Mhm.
in the game.
So he did like manage to get it out, but also in between you can get a lot of play, right? You can create play elsewhere.
But I think I was not sure how to proceed further.
Mhm. So
Okay,
after
I think the
queen
best
d2,
choice from Indian is to play e4 here, which I definitely considered. But sorry, not e4. I think bishop h3 is the move. I'm sorry.
yeah, here bishop h3 is good. Also, sorry, here bishop h3.
No, bishop h3
Yeah.
and queen e3.
Oh, he has to give up the
And
exchange. Here.
yeah, no, I think he's eventually getting it back, like
Mhm.
bishop into f1,
Mhm.
and bishop takes c5. And I was
Yeah.
definitely not wanted to play this position, but there is surprising there is bishop h6 here. Like no, bishop h6
Yeah, sure.
from
Yeah, correct. And it's like a
and
double thing.
yeah, and queen f2, and the line goes I have to go queen g5 here, and bishop into f8, rook into f8, and rook into f1, and I still don't know how black is better after queen d2. This is the best choice from the engine, but okay, I mean queen d2.
Yeah.
But okay, I mean, definitely this is not humanly possible to calculate. I
Mhm.
mean, just giving up a pawn for no reason. And also, you have to see bishop h6 first of all, which is very, very difficult.
Yeah, from a distance, maybe to spot bishop h6 is also not the easiest.
Yeah.
And if you don't play bishop h6 and just move the queen, I think it's not so good.
Yeah, I think it is just so pathetic for black, I think.
Yeah. So after queen d2, you played rook f8 actually here, which is also, I think, yeah, I think it is one of the best moves according to the engine, rook f8.
Yeah, for sure.
And he went e4, and now you played this move a4, sort of. What's the idea behind a4? Sort of to activate the a
Thing
rook?
is, always I will be having some pressure on b3.
Mhm.
And also, at some points, I think this a4 actually helped me. At some point, I can play rook a5 and defend the c5 pawn.
Yeah.
And I can double down my rook as well.
Yes. So he went rook
That was the idea
fd1, and yeah, you were saying, sorry.
Yeah, so that was the idea. Like after rook a5, I can go rook b8 and rook a8 and get the other rook and somehow try to pressurize that b3 point, I think.
And here he continued with rook fd1, bishop a6, queen e3. How is the time situation at this moment? Like where you both sort of
this is a
long
very
time?
critical time. I think he was having 10 minutes and I was having some 40 minutes.
Okay.
It took a lot of time for the bishop into e4 and to d into c6 and bishop a3 idea in the opening.
Okay. And yeah, as you mentioned, you took like 25 minutes there, right?
Yeah,
that was
exactly.
Yeah, that was a long thing. And okay, the game goes on here. I think like all the moves are coming in sort of fast.
Line, which I wanted to which I calculated, but I was not sure that how exactly is going to help me. It is like the interesting line goes by playing a into b3 and the bishop into a5, and I play b2 here.
Oh wow!
Rook b1, queen into a5, and I was not sure after knight d3 what is happening. So after knight d3, queen into a2, but it's just rook into b2, I think.
Yeah, he can take. No, not here, I think, because then rook b2.
Wait, maybe I miscalculated. Okay, knight b2 takes rook d8 check.
Can just come back, bishop f8.
Queen to c5 is coming low.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for queen to c5, I have queen d4. Yeah, very cute move.
Yes, very nice.
Oh, okay.
Nice trick.
Just now I realized that it exists. Yeah, back in the game I didn't saw this. I thought I'm just lost after this. Okay.
So yeah,
That's the reason why I didn't go for it, to be honest. Yeah, I regret now, but okay.
yeah,
I think would have been given much chances for me to win.
yes. But I think if you landed on that position, you would have found Queen D4, perhaps.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure, for
yeah,
sure. I would have found that. Yeah.
yeah.
But back in the distance, I was calculating this. I was not sure that
This is so
how I would
good. Yeah,
have played for win.
yeah. Like after
Yeah,
Queen A2, you thought that here just Rook B2 and Black is
yeah.
like
I
you
think
don't have
at the
much
very
pressure.
least he has Queen D2 or Queen E2 or something like that, and he can take the B2 pawn. I think. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not sure how exactly, but
I
Queen
think Queen
F2. There are a lot of
F2.
moves,
Yeah, or
and
even directly
this
Queen
one,
C4 here is also a possibility somehow.
yeah, there are lots of options to be honest
Yeah,
to consider.
but
So I was
here
not
you
sure.
went Rook A6 actually. You did not
And
commit
now I
to
have
the
to
second.
calculate a very critical line after Knight D3.
Mhm.
I have to sacrifice the pawn by playing F6, which I did in the game.
Yeah, because I mean this pawn is sort of like attacked so many ways. You sort of
And
gave it
also
up.
E5 is hanging, yeah.
Yeah,
E5 pawn is also hanging.
correct. So you have to save that
So,
also. Yeah.
and now I was only hoping for one thing which opponent went, which is Queen into C5, which was definitely not at all a great move. Because I'll tell you the difference. After Queen into C5, what happened was I got Bishop F8. Now he's forced to take on A7, Rook into A7. And if you look at the position, despite me being a pawn down, Black has just no, like White has just no move. Let's
Yeah.
just see if he makes a move like Rook B1. Yeah, I have A into B3, A into B3, and I have multiple options. I can go Rook B7 or Rook A3. Anything works. And I have
Rook
double bishop pair
B7 is
advantage.
one, or like yeah, Rook A B7 or even Rook A3 is also good. And these pawns are quite weak and the bishops are becoming stronger.
And my opponent would be having like 6 minutes in the clock where I have double bishop pair and I can definitely push for a win. This is what I was thinking of. But,
so actually trading the queens was not the best decision by him.
I think the best idea was to play Rook B1 instead of Queen to C5.
Yeah, here just go Rook
Where
B1.
I thought temporarily I would somehow hold a position by playing Bishop F8. And then I'll think what to do laterwards. But yeah, Queen to C5 just, like I was very happy to see this move on the board. And now, like...
Bishop F8 and you got this very pleasant endgame, and F4 is I think a mistake.
Yeah. And at this point, my opponent couldn't hold back and he was not able to figure out what to do and he blundered with F4. Now I think I'm just winning. I think he just missed my last move in this variation.
So
definitely he might have thought all of these things.
AB3, Rook A1. This is forced. Rook B3, FE5.
And he missed, and he thought I would take on C4 with the bishop.
In which case, yeah, and here also black is better, but of course white can still play on, perhaps with knight F4.
But he just missed bishop G4 and it is lost after that.
Yeah, because, bishop G4 is a nice move.
If the rook moves to D2, I think Rook B1 and I can take on A1.
Yeah. And that's what happened in the game. He went Rook D2 and Rook B1 check and he just loses a piece.
Here
right?
I was so nervous because, I made my first no. I got a position where I'm winning and also I was not expecting, and I have to be very, very meticulous playing the next couple of moves. And I have to thoroughly make sure that I'm not blundering at least. And I was so excited and so like I was in a mood where I was not able to control my emotions because, like making a no means under such circumstances where you're completely naked and lost a lot of money and everything and playing this type of chess. And of course, when you're winning the last game and and when you're when you're playing black and it's a must win. Yeah. And how here I was very, very carefully playing, without thinking like 10 times, 20 times in the same position. Yes. Now I figured out, okay, let's just get the rook somehow, get rid of those rooks. And after that, okay, it was just matter of technique. I played correctly, I think, throughout. Yeah, it's just a win, and I mean, you did not make any mistakes here. And after Bishop D4 check, he resigned. And you did. Game, I think I would have cried for like 10 minutes because like the situations I was in and what I was doing was completely unmatchable and completely like not in the right state to match or whatsoever. Like, of course, I mean, I played the worst, like best chess of my life, and I had to play my worst considering what I was going through. So I was kind of a bit pleased after this second norm. And now I need one more norm. And okay, I was not thinking. I think for 5 days I was still processing that. Okay, did I really make 2 norms back to back? And I was kind of very, very pleased after this norm.
Yeah, and you have every right to actually be pleased. What a performance! These 3 incredible games, we just saw a lot of calculation behind it.
Specifically, this norm really, the credit really goes to Levin, who helped me throughout the event, and of course myself. more than Levin. Definitely, I hold a lot of stake in there. So, yeah, but okay. I think without Levin, maybe I could reach 6.5, but not 7.
Yeah.
And I mean, the thing is, even he has 3 norms, yeah. So he
Hmm.
was also sharing his experiences,
Hmm.
that how he made norms, and he said that to take one game at a time. Don't think like too much, like
Hmm.
5 games in a row. Like have to score 3, 4, whatever it may be.
Hmm.
Just take every game as a normal game. But the objective of the last game was just that I have to take that game as a one game.
Yeah.
Also, I have to just keep on mind that I won't end up going into the draw line,
Yeah.
like forced full draw line.
Correct.
So that
Correct.
was the only thing which I was carrying throughout the last game. And yeah, I mean, definitely, like, I think maybe he might have not helped me too much in terms of preparation, but in terms of guidance and mentorship, that, okay, you have to be calm and like how a player should be when he's having must wins. I think this guy scored must wins all the time, all the 3 norms. I think he got must wins. I think at one time he said that he scored a norm where he has to win 4 games in a row in the last
Oh wow.
version, and he did win that. And yeah, and I was very happy to get like helped by someone who has 3 norms and
Hmm.
who definitely suggested me the right strategies to like uh, eventually even to reach 5 out of 7, even to reach 6 out of 8, even to reach 7 out of 9.
Yeah. He definitely helped a lot. And these two norms are there. Now you need one more norm in an open tournament. And Imran, thank you so much for sharing all the story and about the games. I think the games itself are quite instructive. A lot of people can take notes from there, can learn really.
I
Right
think
now, yeah.
if I be very honest with you,
Hmm.
the games are the only like place where I think people can take any inspiration. Considering what I went through and how I found out, like how I fought the entire situation alone, I think it is something which I don't want to inspire anyone. I don't want anybody to get into this any kind of situations what I have faced and solve it out. So I think the games are the only takeaway through which people can be get any like can get beneficial. Yeah, I mean there is no other place where I think people can get inspired by my journey.
Well, I would not say that, Imran, because I still think that the journey of fighting a difficult situation and like persevering to make these norms is certainly inspiring. I would want to end this interview on a note of the current situation. So, because we put out this article, we made a few posts on like on social media as well. I just wanted to know what the current situation is regarding your visa and your passport. So, if you can share with our viewers.
So I'll just share a quick summary about what exactly happened and what
Mhm.
exactly is happening right now.
Mhm.
So before the first Saturday tournament where I scored my first norm,
Mhm.
I played a round robin event in Prague from
Mhm.
31st of May till 5th of June. And
Mhm.
after this, the next following day from 6th to 13th, this first Saturday had to take place. So I was coming from a bus from Prague to Budapest,
Yes.
and there was a stop in Bratislava
Mhm.
where the bus was meant to like hold for like 10 minutes. I think people will drop there down for like having cigarettes and getting some stuff to eat.
Mhm.
And I think the people who are only having a ticket till Bratislava would like to like get
Mhm.
off, and people who are who want to go to Budapest from Bratislava would get in.
Mhm.
And I was very sure that the bus has to like remain at 10 minutes because I always check before getting out of the bus. And it's not first time for me. I've been traveling completely alone from the last 2 years, and I've
Yeah.
done multiple times getting off to the stations, getting some stuff to it. And this time it was even worse because my last game ended in Prague at 1 p.m. and the bus I had to take was at 3. So I
Mhm.
didn't have much time to eat any food. So I was already hungry. And by the time I reached Prague, it was already 8. So already
Mhm.
7 hours passed by since I finished my last game in Prague. And I was extremely hungry. Extremely hungry. And the only thing which I was expecting myself to have some biscuits and coffee just to fill my stomach a little bit, nothing
Mhm.
too concrete whatsoever.
Mhm.
But before I could get to into the bus was moving, and I was telling him to telling him like in this way that, okay, I have to come inside, please wait, and something like this.
Mhm.
And the guy literally saw me coming, and he saw that I was the passenger. Despite looking at me, he literally waved like hand like this, and he left off. And here, even to process what exactly happened, it took me 5-10 minutes. Like now I have no clue where to go. Like there was a bag inside my bus which was under my seat where I was having my second phone, my passport, my headphones, my glasses, and my power banks, my I still have to remember what exactly I've lost, and
Mhm.
all kind of electronics gear, and basically every possible thing one shouldn't lose when you're especially when you're traveling in a like when you are at a foreign country. So I
Mhm.
lost everything, and I did complained. It was a Flixbus actually. So
Mhm.
I did made complaints in Flixbus customer care. And I did everything possible, and uh, and this was
And what was
now,
the response from there, from Flixbus? Like, did
to
any
be honest,
response?
they couldn't help me at all. I think they are just completely useless. I'm just saying it very honestly because they couldn't do any help of mine.
They could not even
Also,
track down the driver who was driving the bus?
no, like immediately, even after 5 minutes, there is a lost and found section where I
Mhm.
have to write exactly the description of what happened and the pictures of my bags which I've lost. I've done it immediately, but still, till now they couldn't do any help. And now it was even more challenging for me to get to Budapest first because first of all I was not having any passport
Mhm.
and I was stuck at Bratislava. So what I have done is that I went to Flixbus drivers and I told them that maybe these guys might be connected. Yeah, Flixbus, so maybe they might have some connections. And I was speaking to a Serbian driver. As of course, I can't expect him to speak English while he was a Serbian. And I was telling him everything what has happened. And the only thing which he could understood was just that I was not having a passport. And he was completely telling to just get the hell out of the bus because I was not having a passport. And I requested him that please, it's not like I'm not an illegally immigrant or whatsoever.
Mhm.
I just lost my stuff in the bus. And after requesting for a while, he just like very rashly said, okay, just sit somewhere.
Mhm.
And after I got to Budapest, it was already night, and I couldn't do anything. The bus station was closed. And then I called my Bangladeshi friend, and then I went here. And since that day, I think I slept not more than 4 hours till this date, I think, because it was just haunting me throughout the entire journey. First of all, I'm traveling alone. I don't have a coach. I'm doing everything on my alone. I'm deserved, like, I have to get 7 lakhs from my government, 5 lakhs for the IM title and 2 lakhs for the FM title. And I filed the application 1.5 year ago, and I have and still haven't got that amount. And I have no coach, no sponsor. Basically, I'm playing like hell lot of tournaments, everything by own, just completely by myself. And I don't even know I'm going the right path and I'm going the right things or not. And basically, there is no one to mentor me. I mean, I don't know till how much time I can just be like this. And even after being everything alone, when something like this happens, which completely destroys your life. And also, I accepted a scholarship in the USA in a university called UTRGV. The full form lies down as University of Texas at Rio Grande Valley. It's located at South Texas in Bronzeville,
Mhm.
where we have very strong place. It's a chess-based university where I got a scholarship. I have to play a lot of international, intercollegiate, and Pan American championships under their chess team, where I could get to study for free. And the main reason behind me accepting this scholarship and not being a full-time chess player is because I didn't got any support from India. I went to me and my father and my family tried it all, going to all sort of politicians, trying to get connect with the chief ministers and everything. We got no help. Even I emailed a lot of Indian companies to help me. I got no help. And the only place where someone was offering me was the university. So I finally that was the only option I was having in my hand. So I felt that if I don't choose this and still be optimistic and try to get into like try to like play more chess by my money, try to be even full time, that is just a very disgusting decision from my end, and I would definitely regret it in future. So after making countless thoughts, and also it was not easy to take that decision because half of the life I was just playing chess, completely separated with my parents and completely being alone. And now I have to go there for like 4 or 5 years and I have to stay alone completely. And also, it took me a very hard time to convince my parents in order to like. I think I have done basically. I think I struggled more than the entire thing that I faced and solved out in order to like convince them to like actually go there and study. So, as we all know, US appointments are not at all easy. I think we have to wait even for a year or two to get
Mhm.
one appointment to apply
Yeah.
for a visa. I somehow got an appointment on March 23rd or something. And by that time, at April 4th this year, I got my visa. And I entered Europe at April 14th. And since then, I'm here in Europe playing tournaments. The way how I planned was that the student orientation, which is mandatory for me to attend in my university, was at August 23rd. And I entered in Europe around April 14th. So I thought I'll play for 4 months. And my last tournament, which I've planned, was ending on August 15th. So just a week before, I will fly back to US directly from wherever I am at that point in Europe. And after finishing 1 or 2 semesters, I would return to India in May or Jan or something and just see my parents at least for a while. That's what I plan. But because of the situation now, I lost my Schengen visa, I lost my US visa, which were in my passports. I lost all my stuff. I lost my diary, which I had a lot of personal things written in there. Probably, I think it contains more than the worth of my passport itself. So basically, I lost everything which one should not lose. And I've tried everything, contacting the US embassy in Budapest, and I got no help. And I've tried everything, and ultimately, also there is another thing which happened, which was unfortunate again, which I was not deserving. The thing was that after I lost this passport, I went to Indian Embassy immediately while playing the first Saturday, and that is the reason why I postponed that game, which I had to play in the morning, and I
Yeah.
ended up in like getting late. So I went to Indian Embassy, and the Indian Embassy gave me two options. One option was that, as we everyone, I think everyone knows that they will be giving a emergency certificate, which is a one-time travel one where you can go back home from anywhere you are currently situated at in the world, and it is just helpful to just go back to India. And that was one option. And this, I think, I always had an option to go back home, and this was another option. First of all, I was not choosing this because I wanted to play the tournament for another players, and
Yeah.
if I go back, I think they can't score their norms. So that was the only reason why I was still here. The second reason was that, the second option was that they can issue me a new passport. It takes 3 weeks to get it over my hand, and I have to get a confirmation from Hungarian immigration department here that they will issue me a visa, like the same visa. They will reprint it once again, till which was valid till 31st August, and the visa was of country of Hungary in the Schengen area.
Okay.
So I went there and I got the confirmation that they will indeed do it. And at least I was kind of a bit relaxed at this, not too much relaxed, but a bit relaxed that at least, considering the amount of trouble I had, at least I landed myself at a situation where I think after 3 weeks I would get a new passport. I can get a visa. Now I still have to figure out the US situation here. So just 2 days ago, I got my passport. Where after I finished my norm, in the second norm, I got my passport and I collected it. And when I went yesterday to the same immigration department, hoping that I would get the visa, when I went there, now everything flipped, and it was so devastated that what happened was, after I went there, I told the same thing, that hey, I was here 3 weeks ago, you guys promised me that you would issue me a visa, the same visa once again. Now they suddenly completely changed their tongue. They said that they can't do it and it's against of the rules. And I was no sure. I was like literally begging them, pleading them, possibly doing everything what I can to get that visa. And they said that there is no other way than you have to just head back home. We can only give you a resident permit, and I think it is only valid till 12th of July.
Okay.
And I have to leave Hungary by 12th of July. I think like if you count the 90-day rule, I think there is a 90-day rule in Schengen area where in every 180 days you have only permitted to stay 90 days. And I think I entered the Schengen area around April 14th. I think if you add up 90 days, it becomes July 12th. So till then, I have permission to stay back. And now I am completely destroyed by all spheres in life. And first of all, I have to be there in at student orientation at any cost till August 23rd, and I have to get that visa at any means. And also, I have to get a Schengen visa so that I can hunt for my final norm. And the thing is, if I go back there, I think I wouldn't be having much leisurety and feasibility to play chess, because I have to study as well. So it is not very easy. Probably I would be not getting this like 4 months or 5 months. Of course, like what I was doing right now. I think they will let me off for a week or two to play some tournaments. So I think not they wouldn't encourage more than that. I have to write the exams and study and all of these things. So I felt that at least if I got the Schengen visa till August 23rd, I would figure out one more norm, and I would somehow even figure out the US visa till then. And after that, I would fly back to US and directly like do as per plan. It is just that I lost my stuff, and that is the only negativity which I have faced throughout. But now I'm in extremely terrible situation. I decided to fly back home on 5th. I'm playing a tournament from 2nd till 5th, and after I finish that, I will go back home, and then I have to figure out to get both of the visas. And now I plan to play a tournament in Kazakhstan from 20th to 30th of July, and it is a very strong event, 2400 and above. I think I can definitely think of making a norm, although I'm not thinking. I'm just want to take one game at a time and all these strategies which Levin has said me. But the thing is now I want a US visa till that time, and also I want a Schengen visa as well if I could get. Because after I was thinking that if I can get both of them, which is the most difficult task which I have to figure out, if I got get both of them, I can directly fly to Europe after I finish in Kazakhstan
Mhm.
and hunt down for my final norm. So that is the plan, and now I have no one, and all these 25 days were completely sleepless, completely extremely pathetic, like countless sleepless nights, full of headache. I think I couldn't even remember a single game where I was not having like extreme headache, 104 fever throughout. Even I think now I have fever. I'm still somehow managing, I'm just surviving. I'm not even living here. I'm just trying to survive and be alive. And it is very, very hard. And I really want someone to help me in terms of financially. If anybody could, it would mean a world to me just to get out of this situation. I'm not even requesting any amount to from anyone to help me becoming a GM or whatsoever. The least expectation is just that I have to cover my losses. And now it is even much more worse that I think the ticket is costing me to go back home is around like 60, 70,000. And again, I have to come back to Europe. It would cost me much more. But if you go to the previous plan where this round trip was not mentioned, I could directly fly back to US and I don't need to pay for double tickets. Now it is even more much. I think you can add like 1.2 or 1.3 lakhs to go back. And again, I have to apply for the US visa. It would cost me like 50, 40,000. I have no idea. And even for Schengen visa, it would cost me once again. And also the internal transfers I have to take within India to apply visa application center, embassy. And I mean, also my parents should be present there because I'm a minor. I can
Yeah.
certainly travel alone, but I can't apply for a visa alone without my parents. So they would have to accompany me and they sign some no objection certificates at the visa application center. And I have no clue how to figure out all of this in such a short time. I would really request that if any higher authority official if is seeing the video, I would really appreciate and really it would really mean a world to me if I can get the visas. And that is the least possible expectations I have at this point, just to get them the visas. Not even expecting any amount, but if I can get an amount just to cover what I've lost in this trip, I think it would be just so good to be true. And definitely, I'm very sure that in no time I would become a GM. As I believed in myself, where if people have watched that other video where I played 17 tournaments in a row and became an
Mhm.
IM,
Yes.
that was completely upon the self belief and of mine, where I was 14 years old and I played 17 tournaments in a row and I finished as an IM without without breathing. I played 17 tournaments in a row. So I'm very confident about myself, and I think I believe in myself more than anyone else in this world. And that is the only reason why I'm still here without going home. I always had an option to go back home, but the only reason why I stayed here for all this period is just that so that I can get the visas. Because if I go back to India, I think the process is so late and I wouldn't even get an appointment. And since this is the country where I lost everything, I was hoping that I would get the visas. And I mean, it was not about any suspicion. It was bound to happen. They promised me that they will reprint the visa, but now they just completely changed their mind. And now I have to leave Hungary by 12th. And I'm at like extremely worse situation. I'm in desperate need of financial help. So does more need of figuring out my visas and financial help at this point. So I really request people to help me out if they can in this one. Yeah, that's the conclusion for what happened.
Yeah. So there are a few ways which people can help you right now. One is, I think, the most important one is for you to get your US visa. Is that correct to say?
Yeah, that's the most important thing. Schengen visa is something which I can somehow figure it out in 1, 2 weeks, but
Mm.
applying for even to get an appointment for a US visa, it is so difficult. And also, and it will be even more scrutinized because now I lost my passport and visa. So there is a section in the a section in the application file where you have to mention that have I ever lost a visa, have I ever lost passport. Now they would even look very, very strictly compared to what they have done last time.
Mhm.
So I think definitely it is not at all going to be easier. But the least expectation is just to get the US visa, not even to get the Schengen visa at this point.
And if someone does want to help you and understand more about the situation, is there a good way to reach you, Imran? How can someone reach you?
They can definitely reach out to my Insta handle or else Facebook or else.
Maybe they can write to you on email as well, if you can share your email
Yeah,
ID.
they can write to me an email, or I'm not sure to even like, should I leave my contact?
I think maybe leaving the contact number might not be such a good idea, but if you can share your email ID,
Uh,
maybe people can reach
yeah,
out to you
of
there.
course, I can share my email ID,
Mhm.
and all kinds of social media handles I'm
Mhm.
presented. And also, I think people can contact directly to ChessBase India and get my contact from there as well. That is, there is always room for that all the damn time. So I think it would be. I think those are those ways through which I think people can help me out if they have the enough power and will to help me. Just it would mean a world to me. I mean, would definitely I will be grateful, very grateful for them, grateful to them for helping me out.
That's great to know, and I think like I hope that someone would help you in this situation, and you will get your visas and get back on track again to hunting the final norm. Also completing your education and a chess degree in the US. So yeah, Imran, thank you so much again for sharing this story, and I hope that you get the help you need. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for the interview.